What's up, friends? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me here again for another movie reaction. Today I'm going to be checking out Whiplash, which I'm very excited for because I've been really wanting to check this one out for quite a while because I've heard some great things, and it's by a director, Damien Chazelle, who has done a movie that I really liked, La La Land. But I assume this movie will be quite different, obviously. I know not really a whole lot about the movie. I know it's not a musical, so I know that much, but I'm stoked to check it out. I like J.K. Simmons as an actor. I'm not super familiar with the other actor. I know I've seen him in one or two things before, but I don't remember his name or anything like that. And this movie was a poll winner on my Patreon. Definitely check out the link in the description for that if you're interested in helping to decide what I watch or react to in the future, as well as getting access to my full-length reactions to all the stuff on my channel. And for those of you who are subscribed, thank you so much for doing so. I really appreciate your support and your comments. Always love reading through the comments. You have a lot of great insights to the things that I watch, so it's much appreciated. And if you're new here, I do movie reactions and TV show reactions several times a week, so definitely consider subscribing if that's something that you're interested in, and checking that notification bell so that you know exactly when I upload my next videos. Well, I'm excited to get into this one, so let's go ahead and start Whiplash. Whoa, man, this guy is talented. Wow.
Did I ask you to start playing again?
Sorry,
I asked
I missed
why
something.
you stopped playing, and your version of an answer was to turn into a wind-up monkey.
Sorry, I thought.
Show me your rudiments.
Freaking roasted him. Shoot, he is a very particular guy. Just blew his audition. La La Land was a good introduction to Damien Chazelle, and I've really loved the lighting and the colors of that one, and I can already tell from this first scene it's going to be another amazing showing of colors and lighting. Obviously, a lot of that is credit to the DP, but it's partly his vision.
No Swedish fish?
No, not today.
Man, I freaking miss movie theaters. Is that J.K. Simmons? Dude must be pretty infamous if everyone seems to regard him with that high of respect or reverence whenever they see who they think might be him. My wrists hurt just looking at that. I'm a big fan of the pacing and the editing so far. There's nothing particularly captivating has happened, but the way that it's filmed is very intriguing.
3, 4. Okay, all right. Trombone, part 24, the and of 2. Maybe not.
This guy's great.
Well, you're in the first chair. Let's see if it's just because you're cute. 3, 4. Yep, that's why.
Just says exactly what he's thinking.
Bass, 5 bars of Donna Lee.
Shoot, did he screw up again?
Thank you, Joe. No, other drums.
Yeah, my guy made it. That's pretty amazing that he picked him out after just like a second and a half of playing. I don't really know who this guy is, the teacher or whatever he is, but I feel a lot of pressure for him. And that's just some great filmmaking at setting up a character. Without too much description, you already pretty much have a good grasp on who this guy is. Oh, you fool! Did he meet people there and then leave? Like right at 6?
You the new alternate?
Yeah, I'm Andrew Naaman.
Tune the set to B flat, then you turn my pages during rehearsal.
Sure.
Did he just tell him to show up at 6 just to make him wait? This guy runs a tight ship. Jeez. Holy cow, this guy must be brutal. This is filmed so cool. I'm loving it already, and it sounds really good.
Parker, that is not your boyfriend's dick. Do not come early. Bar 93.
What a line. I haven't heard any mistakes. Oh, right
Now,
as I
this
say
one
that.
really upsets me. We have an out-of-tune player here.
Oh, freak. Is it going to be the drums?
Whoever it is, this is your last chance.
This guy's scary, man. This guy would eat Simon Cowell for breakfast.
Look up here. Look at me. Do you think you're out of tune?
Yes.
Then why the didn't you say so?
Holy cow. Make one mistake and you're done. Jeez. They've done a great job of making this guy just intimidating as all get out.
All right, take 10. When we get back, the squeaker's on.
I would be so terrified to go up after that display. J.K. Simmons is absolutely knocking it out of the park already, though.
Don't worry about the numbers. Don't worry about what the other guys are thinking. All right, man. Have fun.
This guy's got two completely opposite attitudes about him. And that earlier display makes me feel on edge even when he's being nice, like in that situation. He's digging it. The other drummer is not pleased, though.
Not quite my tempo.
Oh, I'm getting more nervous with every step he takes.
Not quite my tempo. It's all good. No worries. Here we go.
Oof. This is so hard to watch. So awkward. Feels so much secondhand embarrassment for him right now. Did he get it? Oh gosh, he did not get it.
Start counting.
5, 6,
In
7.
4, damn it. Look at me.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Holy cow.
Were you rushing or were you dragging? Answer!
Rushing.
This guy's an absolute lunatic. That was an unbelievable scene, though. I was glued to the screen. Oh, that's painful to look at. I never thought watching someone play drums could be so hard to watch.
She started piano last week.
Hey, when you're a big college kid, will you come play in my band?
Would you like that?
Be my piano
No,
player?
you would not like that.
Listen up, cocksuckers!
Instantly changes personalities.
Bar 106, brass. Do not forget we sharp that ninth.
He knows his freaking stuff, though. He's spot on when he asks for stuff.
I will stop being so polite. Get the out of my sight before I demolish you. Stage right, in order, now.
He's terrifying, but he's kind of funny at the same time, depending on the line and who it's directed to. Surely he wouldn't lose his cool on stage during a performance, so I would think that they're safe for now, but I guess if they screwed up, he'd rip their head off afterwards. I'm nervous that he set it down because of what J.K. Simmons' character said.
Oh, yeah, it's right here.
Why isn't it on you?
Where's the folder?
Are you freaking serious?
I have no.
Why would you give it to Neiman? Right? You give a calculator to a retard, he's going to try to turn on a TV with it.
What a line.
I can't.
I can.
Ooh, he's stepping
You know
up.
Whiplash by heart.
Yes, sir. Every measure.
This is a shot, man. He's freaking locked onto him with his gaze. Oh, he's passed. He's moved his gaze. Oh, I feel relieved for him. I feel like when he was looking at him, he was looking at me. He's definitely getting promoted after that, or at least more responsibility.
Tanner, what are you doing? It's core only today. I don't have time for alternates. Cherokee. From the top.
Tossed him out. All his work just gone.
Yeah, it's going really well. I'm the new core drummer. So
Tom Brady.
Always paying attention to the sport guys, not the music guys.
Well, how do you know who wins in a music competition? Isn't it subjective?
No. But yeah, it's a big step forward in my career.
Well, I'm so glad you figured it out. It's a nasty business, I am sure.
Dang, so much condescension to him.
Travis and Dustin, they have plenty of friends and plenty of purpose.
I'm sure they'll make great school board presidents someday.
That's what this is all about? You think you're better than us?
He's picked up on the sass from J.K. Simmons.
Now, Connolly, I've made Neiman a temporary core. But with this competition coming up, I just want to make very sure this chart is in the best shape it can be.
Jeez, that's freaking cold. Success with him is so fleeting.
Not quite my tempo.
Those words are so much more scary than they used to be.
And I wanted you guys to know he was a beautiful player.
Man, J.K. Simmons has shown some incredible range in this movie. Don't tell me he's gonna switch moods immediately again.
Maybe now's the time for Neiman to earn the part. Nope, I guess not. Tanner?
Oh my gosh, that's way too much stress. Why does he hate the drummers so much? Are all the other guys flawless, or what's the deal?
Is that really the fastest you can play, you worthless Jaime? No wonder Mommy ran out on you.
This guy's a freaking monster.
You actually do look quite a bit like a leprechaun. I think I'm gonna start calling you Flannery.
He's just pumping out the insults non-stop. Oh, his hand.
Get up!
Oh, so much blood. Is it really worth it at that point, man? Oh, I hate this, man. Hate it in a good way, by the way.
Neiman, you earned the part.
Holy crap, bro. Thank goodness. This does not look enjoyable at all. How has no one called this guy's ethics into question? I guess they don't have to stay there, but still, he treats everybody like trash, especially the drummers. There must be something specific about the drummers. Was he a drummer or something?
So the cab's supposed to be right here?
No, you gotta call them. Then they're gonna take forever.
Okay, how do I get to Hargrove?
F. Buddy, now's not the time to freaking have these screw-ups.
By the time you're done at Schaefer, you're gonna make Daddy look like a success story. Got it? Or we can let Johnny Utah play the part. You choose.
That's my part. I'll be on your stage.
It's such abrasive dialogue, but it's also very gripping dialogue. Oh, freak, bro. That is the worst possible thing that could have happened. And honestly, the car crash is the least of his problems. I mean, that's got to impress him a little bit that he came here on his last breath. And all that training prepared him to play through pain, so hopefully he can handle it a bit. Oh, this is so horrifying to watch. This has got to be the most terrifying band sequence in the history of film. No way is he gonna blow up in public.
You're done.
What? He's lost it. Goodness, what a scene. I don't think I blinked once that entire sequence. Now my eyes are watering because they're dry.
So, what do they want?
To make sure that Terrence Fletcher is never allowed to do this to another student.
Dang, about time. Shoot. I mean, it makes sense. He tackled a teacher regardless of the situation.
This would not be a public hearing, you know. Fletcher would never know it was you who spoke up.
Pretty sure he would. This got real somber real quick. This guy's been through some awful experiences. He's gonna look up and see him, isn't he? Oh, shoot. Damien Chazelle does a great job at making things super terrifying in this, even though they're kind of normal situations.
They got me opening in a couple of weeks with a pro band.
That's great.
Truth is, I don't think people understood what it was I was doing at Schaefer. I was there to push people beyond what's expected of them.
I think you pushed him a little bit too far.
Otherwise, we're depriving the world of the next Louis Armstrong, the next Charlie Parker.
That's some dangerous justification.
Gets up to play at a cutting session, and he f***s it up. And Jones nearly decapitates him for it. But the next morning, what does he do? He practices. And a year later, he goes back to the Reno, and he steps up on that stage and he plays the best solo the world has ever heard. There are no two words in the English language more harmful than good job.
I thought he was going to say my tempo.
The band I'm leading for JVC, my drummer is not cutting it.
Don't accept, don't accept. This movie does an excellent job at making me feel horribly nervous for the character.
You think I'm stupid? I know it was you.
Oh gosh, I got freaking chills from that line. He hasn't changed a bit.
But first, we're going to start out with a new tune by Tim Simonek called Upswinging.
Oh, shoot. No way, he purposely didn't give him the music. If he screws up, he's a dead man. I'm more tense in this than a lot of horror movies, my goodness. Crap, 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 crap.
Yeah, I guess maybe you don't have it.
Oh, this guy. Man, I feel so bad for him. He doesn't deserve this kind of treatment. He should have known as soon as he said yes that he was going to get ripped to shreds again. And the audacity of this guy to set him up and say he doesn't have it.
I'm guessing most of you folks have heard.
He's hijacking it. Oh, that's fantastic. Was this his plan from the beginning, though, or is he just showing him up completely? J.K. Simmons' plan, that is. The filming is super cool right now as well. I love those little insert shots where the camera tracks his drumstick. Looks like he's vibing right now. He's killing it on the drums right now. Shoot. His camera work is so cool, too.
Hey, what are you doing, man? I'll cue you.
Homie said I'll cue you. What a legend. Oh, he's on board now. This is some captivating filmmaking. My goodness. Wow. What a freaking turn of events. They're perfectly in tempo now. Oh my gosh, that's so ridiculous. Can't believe I thought at the beginning of this movie my wrists were hurting watching it. Wow, bravo, man. What filmmaking. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? It ends right there. That was a perfect ending to a movie if I've ever seen one. My goodness. Few scenes have captivated me quite like that final sequence, and it really just completely changed my outlook on the movie as a whole. Not like, because I just watched movies like Prestige, Fight Club, doesn't change the way I feel about the movie in the ways that those did, where it changes the way that you look for things in the rest of the movie. This does a similar thing, but in kind of a different sense, because I hated J.K. Simmons' character, not as in I thought he was a badly written character or anything like that. He's a phenomenally written character. I just hated his persona. I hated how awful he was to his students and specifically to the main character. But that last scene really, I hate that the last scene changed me into liking him and that last scene. And that's a sign of great filmmaking, that they can change such a detestable character in just one scene like that and realize the crazy genius to him the whole time. While I don't feel like that ending scene necessarily excuses his actions, because he's still an awful person in the rest of the movie. But it definitely resonates with what he was talking about with musicians that had risen to greatness because of the way that they were treated. And it can apply to not just music, but really any form of art. There's people in those situations where these kind of ruthless, demonstrative figures can sometimes bring out what we've had inside of us, but wasn't going to reach the surface until we have someone beat it out of us, almost figuratively, hopefully not literally. But that last scene was just flawless filmmaking, and it was really good to listen to. I mean, that's phenomenal music as well. This is such a conflicting message for me personally. I don't know how it's regarded by other people, but you want what J.K. Simmons says to not be true, but in the end it shows exactly what he said was true. What Fletcher did was the only reason that Andrew, the character of Andrew, was at that point and performed at that level. And it's frustrating that that's why he was able to do that, because you hate that that's what it took. But at the same time, it's immensely satisfying to not only see him reach that level that he'd been struggling at the whole time, even not necessarily struggling too much. At times it was just little things that were off or something like that. But it's also satisfying to see J.K. Simmons or Fletcher gain a favorable perspective of him in that last scene. You almost feel like you, as the audience or the viewer, has reached a level of respect in his eyes, even though you're not in that situation. The movie just does such a good job of portraying him as such a menacing character that it's just a sigh of relief at the end for the audience, as well as Andrew. And I just thought that was so beautifully done. And I mentioned this kind of during the last scene, that I felt like this was more tense than many horror films, thriller films. Not to put down those films in any way, but just that this film was filmed in such a way of such a really normal day-to-day thing that we see. It turned it into something horrifying and scary, and credit to Damien Chazelle for doing that. His direction is so good. Like, I've never been so glued to the screen and so on the edge of my seat watching anybody play music in film before. I don't think anything like that's really been done, where they've, at least that I've seen, where they've had a musician in that situation and filmed in a way that the audience is so connected and knows the stakes and is so tense watching it. I just thought it was brilliant. And not to say the rest of the movie is bad, that end scene is only as good as it is because of the quality of the rest of the movie. That just solidified it for me. Whereas before, I thought the rest of it was good. A lot of it extremely uncomfortable to watch, whether it's the just divisive, coarse, demonstrative language that Fletcher uses directed at his students, or at Andrew specifically, or it's just seeing him bloodying his hands while playing. So while the whole movie's difficult to watch, has an absolutely unbelievable payoff at the end. I could have watched that scene, that end scene, for another 20 minutes. It was just so enthralling, and I could not take my eyes off it. And I don't know if J.K. Simmons was nominated for anything or if he won anything, but I would completely believe he deserved it if he was nominated or won anything, because I've never seen him act like that. I've seen him in several different roles and I always thought he was great, but this was just another level. He was a true menacing villain in such a normal day-to-day position, whereas most villains seem kind of otherworldly, or they're not in a position that you run into all the time. But there's music teachers all over the place, and to turn something that normal and often thought of in high regard and to turn it into a monster is great writing and direction. And Miles Teller as Andrew is no slouch either. He did a fantastic job. He really sold the emotion and the pain that his character would have been feeling in those moments. And I don't know if they had like an actual drummer sit in for some of the scenes, but in a lot of the scenes I'm pretty sure it was just him drumming. I don't know if it was actually matched up with the audio or everything in post, but he did a great job of making me believe he was that drummer. And so he was fantastic as well. And them being kind of the main two just completely outshine anyone else that has a speaking role in the film. Yeah, so I loved it. It was fantastic. That I'm going to remember that end scene for a long time. That's definitely one of my favorite climaxes to a film. And so thank you so much to those of you who voted in the poll and selected this one. I'm ecstatic that this was the one that was chosen because of how much I enjoyed it, especially in the end. And if you would like to help choose great films for me to watch and react to in the future, definitely check out my Patreon link in the description. And you can also have the full reaction to this as well as my other videos on the channel. So definitely check that out if you're interested. And if you're new, thank you so much for watching to the end of this. I appreciate your view so much and your support. And definitely consider subscribing, turning on that notification bell if you want to see more of my videos in the future. But for now, I'm going to go ice my wrists because I'm in pain from watching him play the drums. But I will see you all in the next one. Peace.